doesn't spill. I don't do this full time. Like Mike said, I deliver mail. And originally I didn't want to be a mailman when I started out. I'd gone to a job fair, and I wanted to be the Schwann's delivery guy. You know, and who would? You get to drive that little yellow truck all over the place. It's full of ice cream. You get to work from 6 in the morning till midnight. Well, it turns out everybody else wanted to work at Schwann's. The line's a mile long. So I look over, there's a big sign that says, "Come and be a mailman, get paid to lose weight." As you can see, it worked well. Long story short, I took the civil service test, and I got my very own route right away, too, in North Minneapolis. Yeah, let the fun begin. But actually, North Minneapolis, I've been there about 8-9 years now. It's a pretty neat place. I've met a lot of cool people down there. I got this one guy on my route. His name is Homeless Dave, and he lives in a rusted-out, broken-down car at the end of the block. And one day I'm walking by him, and he says, "Hey, Joe, I need a change of address card." I said, "Dave, you live in a broken-down car." He goes, "I know, some friends are coming over. We're going to push it over to the next block." And you know, Dave, I really do like him. He did try to make money the old-fashioned way, with the sign standing on the corner saying, "I'll work for food." And he was doing good at it, too, till a skinny homeless guy showed up with a sign that said, "I'll work for less food than he will." And we get this one guy on my route. He's got a mailbox that looks like a duck. And every time you pick the bill up, it goes quack, quack, and it lets him know the mail's there. But with the weather we've been having, I went there a couple days ago, opened the bill up, and he said, "Hey, would you shut my beak? Global warming my ass." And this global warming stuff, you know, all I can say is if it means I can deliver mail in my shorts in January, then bring it on. Yeah. And with the cold weather, we got a memo from downtown because we've been trying all sorts of different things to keep our heads warm. Well, this memo says, "Be careful of the color hat you choose because it could be mistaken for a gang color." I'm 45, fat, and white. The only gang that's going to take me is the apple dumpling gang. So then I'm walking along, and I see these 4 guys, and they got the pants hanging down, and their boxers are sticking out. You know what I mean? And I wonder if they're very fast with their pants hanging down like that. And the guy turns around, he goes, "What are you looking at?" I said the first thing that came to my mind. "I see London, I see France. I see a gang member's underpants." I found out they're pretty fast. He almost caught me too, but he tripped over his britches. Got this one guy on my route, he's fairly new to the neighborhood. He came up and he goes, "Mailman." And I said, "What?" He goes, "You gave me the wrong mail." And I said, "Well, let's take a look at it. What do you got there?" And I said, "This first one says current resident." He goes, "Yeah, they moved." Let's take a look at the second one. That says occupant. He goes, "Yeah, they gone too." And I said, "Well, then I guess you're certainly not the energy-wise consumer at 620 Sheridan, are you?" And he goes, "No, we the Williamses." And I said, "That's too bad. This one looked like a check." And he says, "Oh, wait a minute, I think that's my wife's nephew." Yeah. That joke usually does better in North Minneapolis. I get it. Anytime I do tell somebody I'm a mailman, they always take one look at me and they just assume I drive this little truck around all over the place. Then I tell them, "No, I walk 9 or 10 miles every day." They're like, "Yeah, but you're fat." And I've been hearing this for a couple of years, so I thought, you know what, I'm going to go and get a physical done, find out what's going on here. The doctor gives me the physical. He says, "Actually, you're in really good shape, except for your belly. I can't figure it out. Must be all the beer." And I said, "Okay, I'll come back when you're sober." Well, unfortunately, it's a true story. But he says, "Here's what we're going to do for you." He says, we're going to set you up with a health club." So you know the health club for women, Curves? You've heard of that? Well, he signs me up for the one for men. It's called Handles. So I dragged my little brother along with me. He's going to show me how to work out. We're getting dressed in the locker room, and I happen to look out of the corner of my eye, and I see this fat, creepy guy looking at me. And every time I look, he's staring back. Obviously, he's a level 3 sex offender and he's sneaking up my junk. So So I finally hit my brother. I said, look at that fat, scary guy. And he goes, Joe, that's you. That's a big mirror. So I walked over to the mirror. I was checking myself out, and you know what? I think I still got it. The only bad thing is nobody else wants to see it. And he says, okay, come on, we're going to go work out. So we go out onto the workout room floor, and I'm trying to look real tough. And I said, what do we do first? And he says, well, we're going to start you off on the bicycle. So he says, lay down. So I'm down on my back, and he says, you're going to pedal. We're going to go up and down hills and everything else. So I'm laying on my back doing the imaginary pedal. And after about a minute, I stopped. He goes, what are you doing? I said, I'm going downhill. I'm coasting. And that was the end of that exercise. He says, okay, next we're going to do the treadmill. So we're on the treadmill, and he shows me how to run it, do the speed and everything. And he says, you're going to run 2 miles in 20 minutes. He takes off to lift weights, and I'm on this thing, and I'm going. And after about 2 minutes, I step off. It's like a plug-in heart attack machine. So that was a laughter part. We should have anyway, so you know, when I step off, I realize the treadmill is still going. So I'm dumb, but I'm not stupid. I just speed it up. And I got this thing going so fast, I got fire coming out the back end. Pretty soon, he comes back through the room. I hop back on. And he goes, well, let's see how you did. I said, go ahead and look at the odometer. He looks at it, he says, you ran 17 miles in 20 minutes? Yeah, I guess I'm faster than I look, huh? And he says, yeah, we're done. So he goes, take off, I'm done with you. So I'm walking out of the health club, and I see this big sign that says, come and jump into the hot tub. Okay, that's more like it. So I'm in there, we're the other fat guys, we're having a great time. All of a sudden, this good-looking girl comes walking by. She smiles at me. So I smile back, and she starts to laugh. So I said, hey, what's so funny? And she goes, you guys, you look like a bowl of fat people's soup. So I turned to the Schwann's guy. And I said, what was that all about? And he says, I don't know, but I got ice cream in the truck. Let's get the hell out of here. Well, this is Valentine's weekend, I guess we can call it, so a lot of romance in the air. I think. Supposed to be anyway. Well, what my wife wants to do every Valentine's Day, she loves to shop. She says, that's what I want to do. Forget the chocolates, everything like that. Let's go shopping. All right, so we're at the mall. We're not there 5 minutes. I turn around. I can't find her. She's gone. So I'm walking through the mall. I'm looking for her. And I see this young kid walking toward me. He's got this really weird look on his face. So I say, what's going on? He says, I can't find my wife. I said, well, I can't find mine either. What's your wife look like? He says she's blonde, she's got big boots, and she's wearing really tight shorts. How about your wife? I said, forget mine. Let's go find yours. Now, I have to tell you this part, because the first time I told that joke, my wife was in the audience, and she had never heard it. You can about imagine the reception all the way home, too. So I can't leave well enough alone. We passed by this farm. There's all these pigs and cows out there. So I looked over and I said, hey, relatives of yours? And she goes, yeah, they're my in-laws. But, you know, I love my wife a lot. And, you know, it was about a month ago. We're sitting at the breakfast table. I'm reading the paper. And she goes, hey, you know what today is, don't you? And I said, yeah. I know what the right answer is, yeah. And she goes, yeah, so do I. So, 10 o'clock, I had a big bouquet of roses delivered to her desk. 12 o'clock, I had a great big 5-pound box of chocolate delivered to her desk. And when I walked in the house, 6 o'clock that night, I had the best diamond earrings I could find. She opened them up and she says, you know what, this has been the best Groundhog Day I have ever had. Okay, people, that is my time. I am going to bring up... Thank you. I'm going to bring up a special guest tonight. He's going to do a couple minutes for you. This is the owner of what we're doing here tonight, owner of the Minnehaha Club, Comedy Club. Please welcome to the stage Mr. Michael Orenstein.